He talked about a contract for users of the health service, raising the spectre of restricting NHS access for people who smoke or who are overweight. Now, that would be the latest in a stream of policies to watch over us from the womb to the tomb. But not everyone welcomes the trend. Richard Fairbrass from the band Right Said Fred says Nanny can't always be right, and it's time for a fight back.
Welcome to Big Brother 2008, where every step we take from the cradle to the grave is monitored and logged by our political masters. The question is, how do we get to the point where we've allowed the state to interfere in our daily lives to such an extent that freedoms we've taken for granted for so long are now being seriously eroded?
A new study by the civil liberties group Privacy International says that the UK is the worst country in Europe at protecting its citizens' privacy and one of the worst surveillance societies in the world. Along with our extensive and growing CCTV network, we've allowed the state to set up a DNA database and to store reams of our sensitive personal and financial information. But look at what happened last year when financial details of every parent receiving child benefit were lost in the post. And yet the government still wants to go ahead with ID cards. Some of these measures have been introduced in the name of increased security. Well, they don't make me feel safer at all. They just make me feel snooped on.
In Great Britain today, the state seeks to control our lives as never before. The latest implication being that if you don't lead a healthy lifestyle, you won't get NHS treatment. Well, I think it's the government's job to inform us and to govern us, not to interfere in our daily choices regarding eating, drinking, and how we work and play.
When I was younger, I really believed that the state could be trusted to look after our interests, especially in areas like health and crime, but not any longer. Whitehall has grown into a monster with its tentacles dipping into every area of our life, making us helpless and risk-averse. Westminster should traditionally be the solution to our problems. It is fast becoming the source of them.
So the question is, where's the political party who wants to give us back our freedom to walk in the street without being monitored? Where's the politician who's prepared to stand up and treat us like free-thinking, independent adults? There's nobody in Westminster, it seems to me, who's prepared to commit to rolling back the agencies of the state. Right now, the nanny state rules, but I've got to tell you, it's not okay with me.
Well, Richard Fairbrass joins us in the studio now. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
You look like a man who can handle himself, and I'm guessing
Got
that...
a soft underbelly, though.
Oh, have you?
Yes, I have.
Hard on the outside, soft in the middle. I'm guessing also that you don't live in a dodgy part of town. I'm guessing all those royalties from Right Said Fred
I knew you were going to go down
sees
that
you
road.
in quite a nice part of town.
Yep.
So it's not surprising that you don't feel particular need for things like CCTV cameras. What about people who do live in more dodgy areas,
I think
who are perhaps more insecure?
Yeah, no, I think in areas where you have proven problems over a long period of time, in the same way with traffic cameras, where you have junctions that are proven to be dangerous or areas of road that are proven to be dangerous for pedestrians, it makes sense to have cameras. It seems to me, though, that there is no control over this, that it's driven by, to a large extent, by money. Private companies, I don't know what the process they have to go through before they can put the cameras up, but we seem to have lost control of it. I don't have a problem with a security issue and safety issue for neighbourhoods and safety on the roads, obviously. But when it's driven by the need to make money, and when we lose control of it...
Do you think that's genuinely what the reason is, as opposed to post 9/11 extra security?
Post 9/11 is a fig leaf. I really believe this. I think this anti-terrorist thing has become a fig leaf which we use to dress up every level of state interference in personal affairs. I just want the state off my back. And it's the saddest thing for me in the UK is this is a country that's prided itself for generations on eccentricity, the ability to privacy, the ability to lead your own life without the state interfering or wagging a finger at you every 5 minutes. And we're losing that. And even from the Tory party, I do not hear a politician standing up and talking to me about the primacy of privacy and also the reality that if we are to be made...
William, how important is...
analysis. Yeah, it is very important, but let's whether it's a reaction to 11 and so on. 7/7, King's Cross Station, when they arrived there, the surveillance cameras there were important in actually stopping them doing what they then went on to do.
Okay.
So I think you're being a bit hard on the surveillance.
Well, let me pose,
they're not there at King's Cross State money.
Let me pose a question. Let's suppose we have that can happen. Let's imagine in 5 years' time a politician stands up. Every house in the country with a child will have a camera put in it to prevent child abuse. My argument is that there's a limit to which you can remain free if you demand safety at every level of your life. Now, I'm not saying, obviously in the West End of London, there is an issue of security for cameras because there are high profiles about it. But we are being fed a lie by politicians, I think. They are telling us that we can be free and at the same time be entirely safe.
Liz, to that?
I might say pretty much about surveillance cameras being very important. I do think 9/11 changed a lot. I'm Minister for Counter-Terrorism overseas, not counter-terrorism. I used to go to the meeting. There's a fantastic amount of material that was gathered, which was pretty well to stop some of the worst things happening that might have happened. Of course I agree. There is a limit to this. Of course I agree that the idea that you put cameras into people's homes on the off chance that somebody might abuse their child, that would be absurd. But I do think that, you know, this is really difficult. It is really difficult getting this balance between individual freedom and collective security rights.
Well, let's take another angle, because CCT was one of the things that you object. The other is Nanny state in the broader sense of the government dishing out advice of say how we should all eat and drink and so forth.
The minute the smoking ban came in, apart from seeing a red mist everywhere I went, you can't walk down the street now with a it is illegal to do this, it is illegal to do that, on every street corner, in every building, every club, and it's a nightmare.
But the smoking ban has reduced heart admissions in England. There's been for admissions for heart attacks.
Yeah, but it's no good thing, because you take it, it's a philosophical position. Forget the health and safety, the personal way, the health of individuals. You have to see all these questions as philosophical questions. If done, it is now illegal to smoke anywhere in the country apart from outside this building or outside that building, and you say, OK, we've made that decision. Politicians are like bad bounces. Stop themselves. So no, really.
You've just got this image now of William Hague as a bouncer.
Well, that's what they're like. Bad bouncers, their presence felt on the don't know how to do the job they've done. My very final point is the minute ban with the health, with the food thing that you know they're on this road.
Well, thank you very much for bringing your philosophy to the daily politics. Richard Hairbrush, thanks very much for joining us.